Oh. All right. What's up, wrestling fans? Little matinee wrestling for you if you're in the United States. If you're over in Jeddah, if you're over in Saudi Arabia and everywhere else, it's normal time for you. But if you're here in the United States or in North America, most likely it's a little bit earlier than we're used to having wrestling. I just want to come out and I want to say I told you so. Just want to come out and say I told you so to all you schmucks out there that thought there was going to be some kind of cash-in happening. You're welcome. Should have watched my predictions because it was a big joke, as expected. It was I wouldn't say it's a glorified house show because it certainly is a higher caliber like card than a house show. But it is like a pay-per-view house show is what I would call it. It's a glorified pay-per-view house show. And they really started pouring on that whole, as big as WrestleMania thing. I mean, maybe it is as big as WrestleMania because it was about as bad as WrestleMania. So I'd say they may not be far off from that. JMP Productions or JM Productions, thank you for subscribing to Corrupted Nation here, my alternative YouTube channel. I will not be able to upload on my Joe Cronin Show YouTube channel until Monday or Tuesday this week. So until then, stay here on Corrupted. Won't be able to go live over there for 90 days. So make sure you check out all my live reviews right here, unless I have some kind of change that I don't know about. And what else can I say about this show that hasn't already been said about an H-bomb and a fucking goddamn nursery? It was a waste of time. Pretty much, as expected. I definitely want to talk about Goldberg and Undertaker right away, because honestly, that was the only thing I was excited for, because it was the only thing that could happen that was going to be different. There was nothing, everything else was... You piece of shit. Was going to be delay or repeat or something like that. Jay, can you hear the sounds? All right, let me try to play a couple more real quick. But yeah, and I want to talk about this real quick. All right, well, let's get into Goldberg and Undertaker anyway, and then we'll get to see the donations rolling. Very, very low. So. That's weird. They shouldn't be low. The chat said that the intro music was very low as well. Really? Yeah. The intro music was low. Yeah. Oh, I know why. There we go. Thank you guys for letting me know. Everything is. You guys are probably. Yeah, everything probably comes through now. Unbelievable. How about you can hear this? Ready? Here it comes. Well, no. Put this. Yeah.
Blow me up, baby.
I know what it was. I had a button that was clicked off. We are going to take phone calls in a minute. So, yeah, man, how about that? I mean, so the only thing I was really looking forward to was Undertaker and Goldberg. And that's what we got. So, Undertaker and Goldberg.
11 minutes worth of entrances. The Undertaker's entrance was epic. I'll give you that much. It was quite a spectacle to behold. But wow, this match was just infuriating. This is a sad day for wrestling fans as far as these two legends go. I mean, like you said, there's a bunch of factors that go into it, but
I liked it at first. I really did. I knew that dude. Here's the thing. I still liked this the best because I didn't know what was happening. Like, everything else was, like, so predictable to me. Like, clearly predictable. I didn't care about anything. So, I don't care what anybody says. People are going to make fun of Goldberg or make fun of Undertaker and Goldberg, two old guys in the ring, and look what happened. But I don't care. That was still the most exciting thing that I saw tonight to me, other than maybe the hometown guy winning the Rumble thing. But
yeah, just them walking out was like worth the price of admission. So,
right.
I mean, they still have that kind of attraction level. Thing is, too, there's so many factors to consider that we were kind of rambling off before the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I do apologize. Triple H and Randy Orton did put on quite a show, I guess.
See, I thought it was okay. It had a few like gem moments, but most of it was filled with rest holds and just very long and drawn out. That typical Orton style.
I did fall asleep during it, so I can't say 100%.
Yeah, I mean it was 25 minutes of just this match that could have been like a concise 14 minutes, and even that might felt a bit too long. I know what they were going for, but it didn't have that.
It doesn't work there. It doesn't work for that crowd. They don't.
No, that crowd doesn't get into it as much as another crowd would.
Here's the entrance. Now who wins? And those are the guys. Yeah. They don't get the whole build-up of what they're doing, really, to me.
Exactly. That, and then Triple H isn't as spry as he once was even a year ago at this point. So, obviously still coming off an injury, not that long ago.
Yeah, he looks.
This is only his second match back. But you figure it's 105 degrees, reportedly, or feels like, in the arena because of all the lights and pyro. It's very, very humid. A lot of the wrestlers were having, complaints of difficulty, catching their breath and things of that nature. A lot of them are sleep deprived or jet lagged from the flight over still. And most of the people didn't travel over till Wednesday late. So it's just there's a lot of factors to consider, too. It's not a normal run-of-the-mill show.
What the hell happened with Goldberg's blood? So I thought I couldn't tell all right, so obviously my TV's broken, so I'm watching on this projector. And the projector, unfortunately, same thing happened with AEW. I couldn't really tell how bad Dustin Rhodes was busted open because the projector, kind of the red kind of looks orangey almost and blends in with the skin. So I could tell that he was bleeding, and it looked like he hit his head on the turnbuckle. But I'm going to look at it on my PC now. I couldn't tell if it was like a hard way type of deal or...
Well, I think they intended on there being blood unless he just inadvertently opened himself up. Goldberg did on his way to the ring yet again. I mean, he always hits his head into the door, and he had that, small little red dot on his forehead coming down to the, to the ring. So
again,
you can tell he was already slightly busted open. It was very, very slight, but it was enough to... One little hit was going to open that up. So I don't know if he bladed intentionally backstage and it was, it's supposed to hold together with sometimes they use that epoxy, the fake skin, the skin glue.
No, they didn't. They don't think they used that because I'm looking at his head now. Although I don't know, that's weird.
It's very weird because it's not bleeding at all, but it's definitely got that red spot to it.
Oh,
so
I
it
see.
Looks like it's one hit. It's just going to burst open.
I see it. It's just it's really not that big a deal. What I'm looking at.
It wasn't. It was very, very minute. It was very minuscule. But one hit is all it needed. One little graze of the glove, and it was going to open up like it did. So I don't think they stiffed each other intentionally. I don't think that they were trying to sandbag each other. I think they were just exhausted and
dude, I think he hit it. I think he fucking I think he fucked himself up by accident
walking from the door. Or
oh, wait a minute, he stays okay. So I'm watching oh my Christ, dude, he almost looks like, it's so weird because he's in the corner and it looks like the referee and Undertaker are walking away from him.
Yeah, and Undertaker did win the match, so I know people were asking.
Oh my God!
Undertaker was victorious, but yeah, it was a really weird spot.
I'm
rewatching it.
I'm trying to look at it, and it's like, dude, he hits so he spears the fucking post, but he spears it almost for real, he doesn't so on the corner of the buckle. I'm trying to get a good shot of this. So I can show people. I can't. Obviously, we can't show the video of this. I mean, if I had a big nose and I was from fucking Brooklyn, New York, I could. And I was a female with tits, I could show you this, and I could suck the WWE's cock in the office. But they really zoomed in on it too. God, this is really hard to explain. Okay, so here's the first one, right? So he runs into the post. It looks like this. He runs into the post like that.
Yeah.
And the side of his head actually clips, it looks like, on the left, the stanchion that you can't see. And I'm trying, and then he, so my point is now I don't know if he did this the hard way or tried to do it the hard way or it was an accident, but right here, you see this metal divot? That's metal. It's sticking out. You know, because
here's definitely.
This is the pad. This is the other hook that touches the ring post, and then here's the metal piece with the screw going through it.
And either way, they he was definitely bleeding very slightly beforehand, so it wasn't going to take much to open him up, regardless.
Even if he did cut himself open, he hit this fucking thing.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. It does. There's no like debate about it. He hit this fucking thing. If you watch the video, he hit this. So and then like Undertaker is he like sits there for a second. Now his hands stay down is the interesting thing. Then the camera cuts away. His hands stayed down. Is Goldberg lefty? Does anybody know?
I don't believe so.
I don't think Goldberg's lefty, right? All right. So Goldberg's not lefty. Then at no point after he hits this that I can see does he touch his head. That I can see. Then he falls back into the ring, grabs the ropes kind of weirdly, and then falls backwards onto his back.
Yeah, it was definitely a hard way situation. I mean, that's. I don't think he bladed in the ring. I was just curious about if he planned on hitting a stunt to make himself bleed.
Oh my Christ! I mean, I'll tell you, man. Because
it looked like it was a pre-job beforehand, like he was set up to bleed. Just by him slightly being opened on the way to the ring. But, I mean, right off the bat, we get a spear, then another spear for a near fall. And from there, it just, like they said, Taker did the dead man sit-up, and they go back and forth, trading, punches and jabs back and forth. Taker ducks a clothesline and then gets grabbed by the throat, and... it's just they had a loud Undertaker chant finally breaks out, and then Goldberg tries to spear Taker, and then that's when Undertaker moves out of the way, and Goldberg just crashes into, like you said, everything, and comes up bleeding heavily from the forehead, and we get more of punches and kicks and things like that, and Undertaker was able to get Old School off, so that was still impressive, but. The first pile driver, the tombstone, looked good, and then after that is when things just got really silly, just overly sloppy.
Oh, it was up until this point, like you just said, everything you said, like they were going pretty good, and it was
the 5-minute mark, things were okay. I mean, it wasn't a masterclass of wrestling, but it was certainly passable and not embarrassing to watch. Then from there, it just proceeded to take a nosedive. So.
Yeah, and it really... The thing that was interesting to me was Undertaker... It started out where it was like, okay, Goldberg could carry this. Like, Goldberg needs to help carry the Undertaker. And that's how I felt, because he's a little bit... I think he can move better than the Undertaker. But what happened was, the longer the match went... They actually said it on commentary, and I was like, well, they got that backwards. Because the longer it goes, it should favor Goldberg, you would think. But... they got it right. They said the longer it goes, it favors Undertaker. That was true about the real men in the ring.
Yeah,
because the longer it went, the more Goldberg blew up, and the more he was unable to do things. And one of the problems is, let me look at it too while I'm talking about it, because this will help me out. So yeah, everything is going well. He's bleeding. It's ugly. He jumps up for a choke slam. He gets thrown down, and really, when it all started going to hell. When it got really bad, was I want to say you started noticing before this, but
around the 5-minute mark is when it becomes clear. But
was it the
right
jackhammer?
Before the jackhammer, right when they get Taker gets him with a mini clothesline almost, and you see him kind of bounce back. It doesn't really take full effect, and that's when Undertaker performs Snake Eyes, and it just didn't look like it delivered well. Like he didn't get all of it.
Oh, I actually thought he jumped for Snake Eyes, didn't he? Like Goldberg.
He did, but it looked. I don't know.
That was the one thing I thought was okay looking. I was like, oh,
really?
Wow, Goldberg.
Yeah, I thought,
Goldberg launched himself. I was like, oh, I thought he was going to.
That's when it looked like it took the wind out of him to me. Like that was his.
No, he jumped, dude. He fucking leaped. He actually leaped off Undertaker to take. Guys,
to
seriously,
me, it looked like that's what winded him, and that's what took the last bit of gas out of him.
He jumped off of Undertaker. I swear
I think
to God.
that sent him into a world of hurt.
Undertaker like a frog. Undertaker's got him up like this, and he jumps off Undertaker onto the fucking turnbuckle. You gotta watch this if you haven't seen this. Oh my God! Somebody make a gif of that on Twitter. Oh my God! So the Undertaker, yeah, he leaps
Yeah, because
off
I feel like
that.
that's when Goldberg just ran out of steam entirely from that. I feel like that gassed him out, and then from there, Taker starts to run the ropes, and then Goldberg spears him, and that looks really sloppy.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg's supposed to hoist him up for a jackhammer and can't get him up.
Whoa,
and
that was bad.
Almost drops him on his neck.
He did. He gave him a brain buster.
Yeah, and that was a harsh landing, and that was about the 8-minute mark, if my timing's right.
They unfortunately...
And then Goldberg tries to do the tombstone, and that looked even worse. He just ends up, with a horrible reversal.
Listen,
and
dude,
drops Undertaker.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. They had no business going into those moves. Like, at this point in the match, I could tell, you could tell, they could probably tell. Here's Goldberg now. He's trying to do the jackhammer. I'm watching it. You can see the look on his face that, like, well, this ain't gonna happen. Now he brainbusters him, and for anybody watching, he goes to lift up Undertaker, and instead of holding him, it just comes right down. It's like a suplex except a brainbuster because he drops him on his head. He does drop him on the back of his head a little bit, and you can see Undertaker's like, "Fuck, like what the fuck," and at that point, it should have been evident that there is no reason why
to try
ever
any of these type of maneuvers.
A reversal tombstone that should have, dude, they couldn't even execute. Think about this. Undertaker couldn't execute that with Roman Reigns. They messed that up at WrestleMania 2 because Undertaker didn't have enough steam and Roman overcompensated on the lift up. Well, now they try to go for that with Goldberg and he just falls over. So now Goldberg goes to tombstone Undertaker and Undertaker is supposed to reverse it, but they just both fall over. Then Undertaker chokeslams Goldberg, but it's the worst chokeslam you've ever seen because Goldberg doesn't jump at all.
It looks just terrible.
And I think that...
And Undertaker looked pissed afterwards. He looked just truly defeated and pissed off. You could tell he was really disappointed in the performance of the match.
Oh,
and the thing is, too, like the match was a little over 8 minutes long. 8:35, I think, was the final bell time. And I said about 5 minutes was okay.
Yep.
So the majority of the match was decent, but sadly it was all those failed maneuvers and spots at the end that really overshadowed anything decent early on.
Yeah, they went 2 minutes too long, is what happened. They would have nailed it.
I think they should have taken Matt Riddle's advice and really just done a minute and done what they did with Survivor Series with Goldberg and Lesnar.
See, that's why I feel like Goldberg knocked himself out a bit. Because he doesn't look right, and I want to explain that. And it could just be that he's blown up and he can't breathe. That could be it too. But he didn't look right, And he just did not look right. So he picks up Undertaker and immediately falls. So if I show this to you guys, the picture of this on air, you can tell what's going on here. Here's a photo again. See that? That's Goldberg's legs giving out on him. Look at his feet, his position.
Yeah,
and
he's
look at
not able to hold himself up.
Undertaker's head is a foot from the ground here. That's it. He dropped the Undertaker. He was supposed to jackhammer him.
And like everybody said, I know it was very hot in Saudi. I know that they might have been jet lagged, but this is certainly not the way you want to end the show. That's why I was surprised that this was, in one sense, going on last, because I didn't expect the 50-man Battle Royal to be conducted the way it was. I know they kept saying Battle Royal instead of Royal Rumble, but I really thought that they were not going to do, we bring out 45 of the men all at once and then do individual entrances just for a few.
Yeah. And
I thought that they were going to have it where we start with 2 and do it like a Royal Rumble style, as they did last year with the Greatest Royal Rumble. I know they said Battle Royal, but still, I was just anticipating it to be different, so...
Goldberg's pinning the Undertaker right here. The referee should be counting. After he jackknifed him or failed the jackknife, he's actually sitting on the Undertaker.
And unfortunately, I think with this really leaves you in a bad spot for the show because it leaves a terrible taste in your mouth. Seeing the Undertaker, visually disappointed and upset, and the botched, ending essentially. Not so much botched, but unsuccessful.
I got to give the commentary credit. I can't believe I'm going to do this, but they did a good job covering up. They could have done a better job, but they did a pretty good job covering up, saying like, oh, the loss of blood of, Goldberg lost so much blood and everything. Okay, I'm going to go to the donations now. You guys are waiting. What's up to the chat? How you guys doing? Me and Jake are here wondering why we're spending so much time only on the Goldberg-Undertaker match. It's because it's pretty much the only match that mattered. So, and it's a lot of stuff to talk about with because it was such a debacle at the end. Again, I don't care. That was my favorite match. I don't care. It was interesting to me. I don't care. The Goldberg got blown up at the end. They botched a bunch of stuff. He was bleeding. It was like a fucking just train wreck. It turned into a train wreck. It went from like exciting and good enough, for these guys to a like just falling apart in such a horrific way you couldn't help but watch. It was like watching a guy. It was like, I don't know what the analogy is, but it was just it was a train wreck. I don't know what else to say. It was like watching the Kentucky Derby and then thinking the horse won, and then watching 30 minutes of coverage afterwards. Like, it was, what is this?
Just really disappointing.
Party.
Nobody watches the Kentucky Derby.
Taker looked pissed at the end.
Oh, he was furious. Prayesh Muhamdar. What's up, Prayesh? How you doing, man? Good to hear from you, my friend.
It made that kind of ending made this show feel, it was already incredibly long. It made it feel even longer.
Yeah. I'll watch that match again, though. A lot.
And yeah, I noticed that Matt the Misfit said, according to Michael Cole, Goldberg was WWE champion, and there was just a bunch of little things like that. I mean, I even noticed at one point they had talked about how on Raw they said that Roman had to beat Shane in order to get the match with Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But then they're advertising Roman and Drew at Stomping Grounds. So I guess
I have no idea.
Even though Shane won, he's still getting the match. Stuff like that. It's just they talk circles around themselves.
Nothing made sense as far as the commentary, like descriptions and all those little things on commentary. I kept rolling my eyes like, what? I'm so lost with what is what in this company right now. I have no idea.
Maybe I set myself up for failure here, but I was really most disappointed out of everything with the 50-man Battle Royal. Having all the entrants come out together, you can't even, really name everybody off.
Didn't watch out of 10. Thank fucking God I worked.
Yeah, don't watch it. I would say John, if anybody wants to watch anything, just watch Undertaker Goldberg. It's kind of funny.
I would suggest Andrade and Finn as well. That was a really good match.
That was good, yeah.
Shane is best in the world. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, they kept saying that a lot in a lot of goofy different ways. That was annoying. They had pyro like you wouldn't believe for Roman.
A lot of people got a lot of big pyro, which was
pyro.
Party.
Gerald Armstrong.
WWE in your house, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it was in your house, but it was even more of a house show, Gerald Armstrong. It was just such a house show. I mean, and
like you said, it was a bigger card than a house show, but it just felt like an overrun house show.
Yeah,
like overstuffed. And again, I know we give crap to the country, at times for their political, outlooks and things of that nature. But it is nice to see the kids in the audience. Again, we made this comment before, but it's nice to see the families and the children enjoying themselves. There was one guy behind Elias just doing this for about 3 minutes straight, shaking his head in disgust, and
really?
I couldn't take my attention off of him. it was just, I got to go back. I got to clip it as a GIF later, but he was just shaking his head and just but they got into it. They had fun. Were they the best crowd? No, not by any means. It was nice to see the kids
Taker
happy.
carried Goldberg. Taker's neck is dead.
Yeah, Taker got his neck really hurt a little bit. I mean, I don't know really, but he got jacked up a bit.
He'll be sore for sure, at the very least.
Yeah, he will be sore. He's got to be mad. Oscar Guzman, thanks for subbing. And I don't even know if Taker will be necessarily angry with Goldberg, but maybe he will be. Maybe he'll be like, dude, you didn't work out for this.
You should be able to deliver at least that one, jackhammer.
I mean, Goldberg...
Shit bomb!
Oh God.
My God, what a god-awful show. This show was fucking abysmal. Almost paralyzed Taker because Goldberg can't wrestle worth a shit. No surprise. Nothing didn't accomplish a fucking thing. Andrade and Finn was good, but man, fuck this company.
Triple Gaming, thank you, Triple Gaming. Well, Goldberg took out Bret Hart, so maybe now he could take out the Undertaker. Goldberg
I was gonna make that parallel too.
Over the years, Goldberg single-handedly taking out the Attitude Era. Now just put him in the ring.
He's going after legends.
Yeah, he's
the real legend killer.
He's the legend killer. Yeah. How's fucking ask Bret the Hitman Hart how he feels.
And there is no big news coming out of this today.
There's no news. Yeah, it's a fucking joke. It's a money grab.
Joe, for whatever reasons, I loved it, and I crap on everything WWE normally does.
What?
I even loved that botch match. It felt like it was special to see.
I liked the botch match too. Mo Cox show. I agree with you. I liked it.
I guess if you set your expectations really low to begin with, but even then I was expecting nothing, and that's exactly what we got. And when you think about, the greatest Royal Rumble, at least we had that Royal Rumble, so that kind of offset some things. And then I'm laughing because with the Battle Royal, Renee goes, "Who's that?" when Mansoor won. I was like,
dude,
Liz,
Mansoor?
Who's the guy in the white pants? I'm like, I have no idea.
I thought they were saying like there's a man sewer, like there was like a he's like saying he smelled or something. And I was like, what the fuck?
I had no idea who that was. Hometown hero wins it. Okay, they want the cheap pop, I guess, but it just felt really, I don't want to say undeserved, but that's how it came across to me. You have all these guys who are there week in, week out, killing themselves for the company. Party. Mansoor gets it.
I thought match was better than Taker versus Cena.
I thought match was better than Taker versus Cena. Doshi, thanks for the $2. I don't think you could say that because it's not a complete match, but I liked it. I'm telling you, it was blood. Like they were fucking up at the end. They were breaking down for real. Like I had a lot of fun. I'm like a sick person. I enjoyed the collapse. Like I don't know, man. Like I was almost masturbating over it. Hey, I want to let everybody know as a quick programming thing, I will be live with Monetize This tonight earlier than normal. So everybody, because tomorrow I'm going to be at FanFest in Warwick, Rhode Island. Eric Bischoff, Jimmy Hart, and so many other wrestling legends tomorrow in Warwick, Rhode Island at the Crown Plaza. So make sure you guys get your tickets for FanFest 7. I will be there. So because of that, Monetize This starts early tonight. Probably ends earlier. And tonight, Jake DeMarco puts the Monetize This championship on the line.
That's right,
all
baby.
Kinds of other bullshit. It's right behind
Keeping that title. TJ Jones on Twitter made a really good comment, too. And I noticed this because they had Goldberg coming out, and he hit his head on the door. And TJ says he was concussed from hitting his head on the door of the dressing room. Think about how long it took him to come out. And that is a good point because the cameras went just to the crowd.
Why does he keep doing this? This is the second
I don't know,
time.
but think about it. He looked weird coming out, but they showed him walking out with the security guards. He hits his head into the door, all this stuff, and then they cut away from him. And they cut away for almost 2 minutes, I felt like. At least, before the pyro went off and he came out, and they just kept playing the music, and the music repeats, and the music repeats, and they're showing the crowd, and they're showing the ring, and then they show the entrance ramp with the Goldberg Titantron lit up, then they show the crowd again, then they show the ring, then they show the Tron, then the stage, and they did that like 7 times, I feel like. It just kept panning and panning and panning, and then finally the sparkling pyro comes out, and he walks out. Plus, you could tell by the heat, because he didn't stand in the sparkler pyro either, because of how hot it was. They said he didn't want to stand in the pyro. So,
I'm watching it.
But it literally, because they had the camera on him walking to the ring, and usually they don't take the camera off him until he goes through the curtain, and then he comes out. Well, they cut the camera, and I'm like, that's weird. Maybe they're trying to fix his head quick, or they're trying to, because I saw the little dot on his forehead, and I messaged you. I'm like, he's bleeding already, before the match even started.
Well, I'm watching it, and so do you see him hit his head? Because all I saw is the guy bang on the door and him come out.
I have to go back and rewatch it. It looked to me like he did it then, but
no, because like I'm watching it and all I see is the guy go boom, 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 and then Goldberg opens the door and comes out.
I gotta go back and rewatch it. Yeah,
where's the banging of the head?
Because maybe we don't see it, but I know his head is bleeding.
Okay, but so you didn't see it, so nobody saw him bang his head. Then are you thinking? I swear you're thinking of the last time he did it.
His head is bleeding as soon as he walks out. So
I do know that. I see that, but I never see him bang his head.
Yeah, I mean, his head is definitely bleeding. So
no, I get that, but again, I don't see him hit his head. That's what I want to see is him bash his head. I didn't see that.
I might have just saw the blood and I have to go back. But
no, I don't see. He doesn't bang his head. He gets knocked on the door, and then he comes out, and then he's got a little dot on his head. And he's soaked in water or something. He's walking to the ring.
Looks like he's just sweating to death.
Yeah, he's just sweating. He's tasting it.
But do you see how many...
He actually looks good. I mean, he looks good. He's like, here we go. Like, he's coming out. He's all
he looks hyped up. But look at the fact of how long they cut away on the camera for. It looked odd to me.
Well, because I think he's coming out of the dressing room, which I'm assuming is pretty goddamn far away from the ramp because this building is huge. And then they realize, all right, well, let's cut now. He had to walk a long way to that fucking ring.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a short trip, I'm sure, but...
Oh, he's not that far. I see where he is now. It's really not...
But look at how long they cut away for, because usually they never cut away. Again, all speculation.
It's almost like he stops in Gorilla or something to talk, like to be like, "Hey."
Yeah, because I mean, he looks exhausted. I mean, he sounds fierce, but he looks exhausted. He keeps spitting. He's got that animalistic attitude going. You hear that, huh? And then they cut away. Not long after that.
And then all the Saudi Arabians realize he's a Jew and they kill him. No, I'm just kidding.
That's what made me laugh about this, too, with him being, unwilling to wrestle on, Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah and all this stuff, so notably. And it just, I don't know. But like you said, maybe he stopped in Gorilla.
Yeah, maybe he
because he gets right to here.
Yeah, that's where he goes. He goes up the ramp, which is in Gorilla.
Yeah. And then that was it. And it took a while for him to come out, so
weird. What a weird.
They cut away, so it starts right there. So that's at 43. So I'll time how long, but
it's a long ride.
Super chat.
Yeah.
Super chat.
What a god awful hunk of crap. 1 deb out of 10.
He does not bang his head, by the way. I can confirm.
No, he doesn't. I just
that we know of. Corwin Eberly, thank you for the dog.
We don't see it on the screen, but he is bleeding as soon as he walks out of the dressing room. So I think it's why I assumed
At the end of the day, Blood Money won the event.
At the end of the day, Blood Money won the event. Goldberg is a Jew. How did you not know Goldberg's a Jew? Like, his name is Goldberg.
Goldberg.
What if his name was Feinstein? Would you not know that? Billy, thank you for subbing to the channel, man.
Ezra Feinstein.
Ezra, I love you, man. Love you all. Love all the Jews out there. It's going to be a good monetize this tonight, guys. At least 10 p.m. It may be even earlier. I mean, I'm going to start early tonight. I'm telling you. Make sure you guys are here for that.
Yeah, it took a while for him to get there.
He is the perfect Canadian. Sean Spears is in the house.
10 out of 10. It's such good shit. I just watched Goldberg and Undertaker's match.
That's all you watched? That's all you needed to watch, really. Chiz Ickneys. It was such good shit. When Goldberg dropped the Undertaker on his head, when the Undertaker reversed tombstone and fell over, that's good shit.
I don't know about you, but like I said before, I was really disappointed by the 50-man battle royal. I was expecting to see like surprise entrants from either NXT or maybe some legends.
No one wants to go
we didn't
over
get
there.
that. I mean, they had everybody come out all at once, and like I said, there was too many to even list. And I'm like, oh, watch, The Miz is going to win because he's one of the only few getting an entrance. But then they had The Miz with receiving pyro as well. Samoa Joe, Cesaro, Titus O'Neil. Those are the 5 to have their own entrances.
What up, Seal Dog?
Or 4, excuse me.
Make sure you guys subscribe to my main channel, which is Joe Cronin Show on YouTube. 65,000 subs. I'll be starting my uploads over there again on Monday.
Oh, excuse me. Elias was 5. But do you know who was the first eliminated, Joe?
No.
Take a guess.
I don't remember.
EC3.
Oh.
Out of everybody to get eliminated.
Oh,
he might have just eliminated himself and been like, forget this, I'm leaving.
Yeah, he just jumped over on his own like, I'm out of here.
The Undertaker.
The Undertaker. The Goon. Thank you, Goon. The Legend. We're going to take phone calls in a minute, too. I just want to plow through these so we'll get these out.
It was interesting to see the Authors of Pain back again. We haven't seen them in the ring in months and months, so... the Viking Raiders were there facing off with, Heavy Machinery and the Authors of Pain. That was kind of a decent moment. But
Fatima, thank you for subbing, Fatima. Yeah, dude, it was good to see it was like fucking 60 people in that goddamn ring.
Yeah, I mean, impressive that the ring is able to hold all that weight, but...
Yeah. Goldberg doesn't look right. I'm watching this more and more. He just got fucked up. And I'm telling you, he crashed into that goddamn metal piece. Like, he hit that thing. He hit this piece of metal. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh.
Goldberg to Goldberg, just don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me. Just don't hurt me. Shit. Undertaker was probably telling Goldberg, you're gonna have to hurt yourself.
You're gonna have to hurt yourself. Jeff94. The Undertaker's entrance was fucking awesome. Like, he had a great entrance. They had some like little build-up thing. Jeff94, thanks for the $4.99. All the Blizzard servers are down today.
Yeah, they've been having issues, I guess.
Yeah, I went to play with Diablo with Leah. James Kaysen, thank you, man. What's up?
Yeah, he definitely hit that post.
Yeah, it was like he was trying to maybe bust himself open the hard way, but he not only did that, he really smashed his head. And like,
yeah, I think he hit too hard because there was definitely a planned spot. I swear.
And that's why you just have razors, and then nobody gets a fucking head injury.
Yeah, exactly. He must have concussed himself or something. Like, it just, because dropping the Undertaker.
He doesn't look right.
Super Chat Party.
He could just be tired, though. I mean,
Renee Young was covered from head to toe.
Renee Young looked like an old lady. Those people make their women. There was like a couple women in the front I noticed looked pretty hot. Like, I could tell by their face. And I was like, whoa, that chick is fucking hot. But
see a little bit of ankle, and you guys start freaking out.
Start masturbating to her ankle and her neck. But
it was disappointing that Natalya and Alexa Bliss did not get their match approved. You know, it was making its way through, like, basically like the approval process, and then finally they just said no outright. So
fuck them. This show sucked anyway. You don't want to wrestle. It was hot. Your titties would have fallen off.
You were better off not wrestling on the show, but
yeah.
I was really most disappointed, even more than the Goldberg and Undertaker match. I can't even say I was disappointed by that. You know, that about what I expected from those two. But the Battle Royal, I love Royal Rumbles so much. I really do. That's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year, and I just thought we'd get some like surprise moments and big spots, and we didn't even get the usual typical like almost eliminated, gotta get back in the ring
He's
thing.
burning down, he's burning high. When ashes fall, the people die. Prince burned it out, oh my oh why. When ashes fall, the people die.
Jesus. The Goon. Goon, thank you for the 316. I don't even know what the hell that means. Appreciate that, Goon.
Did you notice that they also moved the royal families and all the dignitaries onto the hard camera side?
The hard cam side. I was like, oh, why does it look like people are really alive right now?
Yeah, we don't have to sit.
I wonder if that was
watching them be, stoic the entire time.
I wonder if that was the WWE's request or if that was the royal family's request. Sir Khan Ilhan, thank you very much for subbing to the channel, man. How you doing?
I would assume it was WWE's request just because it was memed so heavily after the last two shows.
Yeah, they were like, you're gonna get him like bad. There's gonna be pictures of your family like all over the place, looking bored.
Yeah,
JL,
they were
thank
just
you.
so bored last time.
The crowd was good though, man. Like you said, it was fun to see all the Saudi Arabia people happy to see something in WWE. The fans, the family.
Yeah, they were very receptive.
Goldberg was concussed. When he hit his head before he came out, he gave himself a concussion. He had that same dot on Raw when he hit his head so hard he forgot his lines.
Yeah.
Also go back and see how long it took him to come out to the ramp.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I did see
he
that.
He stopped in Gorilla. I wonder if they were checking on him.
Yeah, I wonder too.
But yeah, that's maybe what I'm thinking of, because he had the same exact dot in his head when he fucked himself up when he couldn't remember for his promo.
Why would he do it again?
We saw him hit his head.
What's his
Check
gimmick,
out
to
Matt
be a
Riddle's
retard?
Tweet. He might get heat.
Let me go read Matt Riddle's tweet, I guess. Zero, thank you very much, Zero. Was Zero, I missed your last name.
Matt Riddle took it down. I didn't get to see it. We were tagged in it, and it's down now. He said something about the match.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's down now.
Oh, no.
Rewatch Taker's Tombstone. Goldberg got spiked hard. Cripple Taker and Goldberg.
No, I did.
Vince's checkbook strikes again.
I did see that Sledge experience. Part of that was so he's talking about earlier on. So earlier on the first Tombstone, Undertaker tombstones Goldberg and he actually hits him with it. What happens is Goldberg is so gassed. Undertaker tries to pick him up. Undertaker does get him up, but Goldberg doesn't help almost at all. So Goldberg doesn't do anything to get himself. You really want to jump up as high as you can, wrap your arms around the guy. So not only does Goldberg not get up high enough, but he also doesn't get a good grip on the Undertaker himself. And Undertaker also doesn't care whether you do or not. He's tombstoning you the same way he tombstones everybody. So he tombstones Goldberg, and I noticed his head was a little too low. And it did. It bounced off the canvas a little bit. Not bad. Not like oh, God, he's paralyzed. But enough that you would get kind of rocked a little bit. Like the top of his head went into the mat. Now, luckily when, Undertaker goes down with you, the theory, you hope is the mat's going to sink down a little bit, so your head's going to move, so there's give. It's not like you just tombstone him on cement. But it still wasn't done the way, it was a little dangerous. But It was okay. But I did notice that he did get spiked a little bit, and it wasn't perfect, and I was worried about it. I was worried about it the minute that Undertaker and him went into the tombstone. I was worried right away. In fact,
instantly,
I can tell, I can see right away. I'm like, okay,
he didn't have his footing right.
He's not positioned right. Okay, I hope he does. I hope Undertaker knows that he slipped, because I'm not sure if Undertaker knows he slipped. And then here comes the tombstone, and there it goes, and I go, oh God, he almost got really hurt, but luckily he's okay.
Matt Riddle put out, he said, awesome job, bro. You're already bleeding and the match hasn't even started yet. So that was his first tweet with a gif of him slapping Goldberg as Batman and Robin. And then he put out a video. I sent it to you in the Skype chat. And he basically says, Goldberg, you are, in fact, the worst wrestler in the world. That's not an opinion. That's fact. But he took that video down.
Why does he hate Goldberg so much?
He was going after Lesnar the other day, and then Goldberg, he said that he could never wrestle, and he was always an embarrassment, and
all right.
he was shitting all over Goldberg the other day.
Goldberg, you lived up to the hype yet again. You're absolutely the worst wrestler in the business, bro. And that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Goldberg, you lived up to the hype yet again. You're absolutely the worst wrestler in the business, bro. And that's not...
Yo, bro, why don't you slap that fucking kid in the background out of his fucking shoes for me, will you?
Yeah, well, the kid says that, tell somebody you suck, and the other thing, he starts laughing, so...
Looks like he's raising retards like himself. But no, seriously, Goldberg is a piece of shit that hurts people, huh? Wow. Well, no, I mean, Goldberg, hey, he took out Bret Hart, now he's going to take out The Undertaker. Why not? I enjoyed it, as dumb as it was. Well, Matt Riddle had the best match of his career the other day on NXT. So,
as far as his NXT career goes, yeah. And thank you to Spaz Phoenix for sending that to us as well.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
I know that Jacob Winkleman and
why don't you put
Gravy
some fucking shoes on? Put some shoes on, Riddle. You fucking
when
barefoot
Cole
idiot
mentioned that it was 100 degrees, Renee quietly mumbled to herself in the background that it felt like a million in her dress. Why Society sent that
She
to
was
us.
dressed like it was a Christmas party, which is kind of fucked up when you think about where they were, but she was like, it was like uncomfortable looking at her. I was like, wow,
she must have been dying in that. And TJ says if you go back and listen, you can hear him hit his head on the door. So,
well,
but still, we don't see
he
it
did
this
something.
time,
He's
so.
bleeding. I mean,
he's clearly he did
way.
the same. He had to have done the same thing to himself. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it because he has the same red dye. Just look
dance off the concrete.
Why is he doing that?
I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers. I'll be honest. I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Taker wins by botch and is pissed. Still better than AEW. I would hate to be Vince right now getting owned by Taker. Brock has to be watching Vince and Taker right now. Unhappy locker room.
What the hell, Joshua Hutchins, did you just say? Let me just go back and read what you said, because I feel like I heard a whole lot of wrong. Or are you joking? Like, I can't tell. Joshua Hutchins, thank you for the $10, Joshua. Taker wins by botch and is pissed. Okay. Well, no, Taker, there was a bunch of botches, so Taker went home. That's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really a botch. It was just a shitty choke slam.
There was all these botches, so Taker said, fuck this. He ended the match. Goldberg didn't know what to do. If they had tried to continue to redo the spot or whatever the hell the thing is, Goldberg was out of it. Damn near out. Passed out. So Undertaker grabbed his ass, choke slammed him. He couldn't even jump for the choke slam. and just crawled over him and covered him. Undertaker took the match home because he had to. Good job by the Undertaker. Still better than AEW. What are you talking about? There's no way that you watched AEW if you think that this was better than AEW.
Yeah, there was nothing about this tonight that was
if
better
you
than
thought
Double or
this
Nothing.
was better than AEW, like, you should take the $10 back, go buy a butter knife, and then jab your eyeballs out. I would hate, then he says, I would hate to be Vince right now getting owned by Taker. What are you talking about? Taker is owned by Vince. So much that Vince told him the shows he had to back out of recently, and all the stuff that Undertaker had planned to do outside WWE was shut down by Vince. And Undertaker was also not allowed to wrestle at WrestleMania, but was offered this Saudi Arabia show. Therefore, Vince McMahon is owning Undertaker.
Yeah.
Undertaker
Taker's
does
his
not
bitch.
own him at all. There is so much wrong in this donation. I can't believe it. Brock has to be watching Vince and Taker right now, unhappy locker room. I don't know what that means. It is the only thing that you said in that whole sentence that is right. The only thing you said in that whole donation that made any sense, Joshua, is unhappy locker room.
Yeah, that's the truth.
You got that part right. Thanks for the $10, though. My Christ, I've never had to correct a donation like that. I mean, there was so much. It was like a troll. He's got to be. Was that a troll? I mean, if it was, I get it then. But Christ.
Like Matt Moon said, it was bigger and grander than AEW. I could see that just by the scale and the pyro and all that.
Shit bomb.
Certainly wasn't better.
I hope they have 24/7 special like they do like WrestleMania. Just see their reaction when they go backstage. I just want to see how pissed Undertaker got after that match. 2/10 for me this show.
Yeah, I agree. Dude, Jeremy, thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum. Dude, are there like troll WWE fans in the chat saying this is better than AEW?
There's been a few.
Are you on drugs, people? Like,
I think it's just a lot of the AEW antis and the WWE.
Yeah,
faithfuls.
but like, that's just crazy. I bleed like WWE for my whole life. It's
I mean,
not
Double
like,
or Nothing was fantastic, but I think Takeover, the 25th anniversary Takeover, was better than Double or Nothing, but not by much. Like, that was such a small margin.
Those shows you could argue over. WWE
and
NXT,
that's also because I was
Super
there.
chat.
So, I mean,
Super
that's-
chat.
You could still
Catch
argue
me
over.
up on the results of Goldberg Taker.
Rick Coleman, I hope we've been talking about it the whole review. I feel like
Undertaker won. He defeated Goldberg. They had a lot of decent back and forth in the beginning. Started out with 2 spears, then a couple of near falls. Undertaker gets a tombstone early on, and then they start to fall apart. Undertaker sends Goldberg into the corner, and Goldberg busts his head wide open, splits himself open, bleeding in the match. And unfortunately, they just kind of floundered from there on out. Goldberg couldn't get himself to perform any of the moves properly. He dropped Undertaker badly when trying to perform. It just was a mess after that, and it led to Undertaker just going home and end of the match.
Chat Party.
Wish more people knew Mansoor. I've seen him a few times on
He was good.
NXT. The guy is really fun to watch.
Well-
Oh well, happy for him and respect between him and Allie.
Well, yeah, Spaz Phoenix. In all seriousness, he did a really good job. He did a Shawn Michaels-esque type of deal in that Rumble.
Yeah.
So he was good. I liked him too, and
He won the crowd over, obviously being the hometown hero. But even those that weren't familiar with him there, loved him quickly too. So he's got a good amount of charisma.
He's got a similar charisma that Mustafa has. They both got that kind of.
Well, him and Mustafa even had that little moment afterwards too, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah, because Mustafa could have goddamn won too.
I was kind of that's the thing though that I was upset by too. It's that you have all these guys that bust their ass week in and week out on Raw and SmackDown that, in my eyes, are more deserving. I mean, it's just a Battle Royal win. It doesn't really amount to anything, but still, it just feels like a, hey, we appreciate you kind of a gesture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And instead, they give it just, to Mansoor. I'm not saying he's not deserving, but maybe not as deserving as some of the other talent in the match.
It was hot.
For this donation, I want to know what you felt about the beginning with Rollins.
Didn't watch what happened with Brock.
Ryan S. What up, Ryan?
Perfect lead-in.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it a lot, really. I mean, there's a lot of donations coming in. I want to let these roll in so we can get it to stuff. But yeah, right off the bat, I mean, I basically I knew this was going to happen, so I was bored. Brock comes out to cash in at the end of Seth Rollins' match. They tried to sell really hard that Seth was really injured. Of course, Vince McMahon taped him up with tape and shit everywhere because Seth is always the broken man. And, Paul Heyman tripped getting into the ring, which distracted Brock for a second. And then Seth Rollins punched Brock in the balls, and then the cash-in didn't happen. Instead, Seth beat the shit out of Brock with a chair, and so no cash-in happened, which I knew would happen, but the way they did it was just hilariously stupid. But Alex, thank you for subbing to the channel. The whole Heyman falling and then being like, oh no, the briefcase is on the ground, as if he just dropped,
Yeah, why would that matter?
Like, so what? You drop the briefcase, pick it right up and stand up and then go do the thing.
It's not fragile. It's not fragile. It's not going to break. Pick it up and he gave it to the ref. Brock should have hit him with the chair, picked it up, and cashed it in, Like, come on.
Yeah, it was really dumb, but...
No other wrestler needed someone else to cash it in for them. They handed in the briefcase themselves. Come on, don't pull that shit.
It's the type of booking you would have at a house show.
It felt very, house show-esque, where you get those, championship matches and, just to attract a house show crowd to see it, and anything can happen. They could win the title, but a title's not going to change hands when it's not televised, so...
Yeah.
The match was okay, but the finish was really kind of hokey, and Corbin was just really like a goofball through some of it. I feel like, I don't know if you felt like that either, but especially like his interactions with the referee, I felt like he was really telegraphing the ending of the match, and
it was just awful, man. I didn't pay much attention. I just kind of went like, "This is fucking stupid."
Yeah, the Demon Finn Balor and Andrade was good. It was a good match. I wish they gave them a little bit more time, but with what we got, I thought it was exciting and entertaining. But we knew with him being the Demon that there was no chance of him losing. I feel like at this point. So
Mahmood, thank you for subbing to the channel, man.
It was good. It wasn't anything memorable though. It's the Demon doesn't feel special at this point, so that's another part that's kind of disheartening too.
Prayish Muhamdar.
Entrance was epic, but the match was cheat.
Yeah, entrances were great. Match wasn't very good. I still enjoyed it because I was like, what if someone dies? There's that little part of you that's like, what if somebody dies? Who knows? I appreciate that, man.
The Roman and Shane match, I didn't see the end of. I was at the doctor's at this point.
Oh, God.
So I saw about 5 minutes of the match, and then I missed the ending. I came in right at the beginning of the Lars Sullivan match.
Another fruit roll-up, somebody said in the chat. It's another fruit roll-up. Baron
Great
fruit
point.
roll-up. It's fucking hilarious. They fucking do this to him every time. Drew McIntyre, the referee got hit in the face at the end. They both fell over for a second, and Drew McIntyre, Claymore out of nowhere, rolled out of the ring, and that allowed Shane to pin Roman. Scott N., thanks for subbing to the channel. So Shane
I saw the celebration, because McIntyre was holding Shane up on his shoulders while the pyro was going off, and I saw that recapped later on, but it felt like it was going to be a ridiculous match, and I'm surprised that Roman lost, honestly.
Party.
If Nat and Alexa had a match, the men in the crowd would have rushed the ring and had their way them both.
Oh my God, that would not have happened though. In all honesty, Jay Giles, thanks for the $4.99, my friend. You look in the crowd, man. You see fucking real human beings who have families and stuff. They're not gonna fucking do that. But I do get that's funny. Fucking all of a sudden they just start hacking them up. I don't know.
Lars Sullivan, that was a waste. That was a total waste. There was no way that wasn't going to be a total squash match. Sullivan was bleeding from the mouth a little bit, but
I thought they were all going to be in the ring with him at the same time. I didn't know it was
that's
a tag
what I
match.
thought. I thought it was going to be 3-on-1, full-on handicap match, not this tag format. And they have other times where they had the Lucha House Party rules and they do silly stuff. Now they don't use it.
They don't know what they're doing.
The second Riddle video is ripping Goldie's knee bar.
Spaz, thank you. Yeah, that was another point in the match where Goldberg tried to roll through into a knee bar, and instead it was he was really just kind of doing an ankle lock, a front ankle lock while laying down. It was
right.
It was just he just kind of didn't. ever connect with anything. He should have wrenched it in more to make it like, oh yeah, I meant to do it. Like I meant to do this. I meant to put an ankle lock on you, not a knee bar. You know, if that's what it was. It was just weird. Spaz Phoenix, thanks again for the $2, man. Where are we with the donations? Yeah, I can hold them up now for a minute while we talk.
Triple H and Randy Orton. You know, we had Triple H come out on his trike bike there, the motorcycle, and he revs the engine, you know, just like Mania. And the best tweet I had seen was from Jason Powell. He said, I wonder if Cody is
weed every day.
Thought I paused him.
DA Weed God is here. UMM4 scenes fights at 2 old folks home better than this. Fuck all you retarded faggots that have went after JoJo is God. Jake is king. Fuck the world. Im high.
Fuck yeah, NickY J, you're always high. I thought I paused these, but my bad. NickY J, thanks, dude. And you'll find out tonight at about 7, 8, 9, about 3 hours for Monetize This, and it's going to be fun. Jake puts his belt on the line. Somebody's starting with S.Dollar starts with 1,400 points tonight. So
yeah, he's got his briefcase, and
we're fucked. But anyway, go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry.
If he doesn't win, it's a miracle.
Right.
People got to help me defend this belt. But yeah, Jason Powell said, I wonder if Cody's checking to see how much it will cost to destroy the same model motorcycle at AEW Fighter Fest. If he comes out bashing a trike next time, then we know, you know, he just can't let it go. But I didn't care for this match. I mean, yes, there was a few points that I was like, oh, all right. The one time where Triple H was trying to bust Orton through the table, and I think he slammed him down on it 3 or 4 times. I think it was 4 times in total, and the table just would not break, the announce table.
Yeah.
That was a decent spot because he just kept doing it and kept doing it and kept trying. And but pretty much the only high moments or highlights from this match were the finishers. The pedigree, the backdrop into the RKO, and then the punt into the RKO at the end.
Yeah, you could have done without everything else.
Yeah, everything else was just a rest hold or some type of, you know,
roll out of the ring, point at the fans, or
exactly, draw energy from the crowd. That was it. And it was a long match.
Take notes, Goldberg.
26 minutes long. So I mean,
God,
25:45 was the final bell time for that.
It was.
The fans gave a "This is awesome" chant, you know, towards the end, and I'm like, wow, you guys are easily impressed. You know, I think you guys just wanted to chant. And like I said, Triple H doesn't have that same pep in his step coming back from injury. I mean, you saw the same, type of Triple H when he was facing Batista at Mania. You know, he doesn't have the same type of like exuberant energy that he used to have at points. But he was never like overly flashy either. But I feel like he just didn't have that same pep in his step. You know, he really, some of his moves were telegraphed and much slower. Like when he does the drop down knee leading into the, you know, the fall away slam, and it just, a lot of it didn't seem like it. It looked like it was in somewhat slow motion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the live crowd at least seemed to enjoy it, so that was good. But I just didn't care for the match.
214, yeah, because they love those. They know who those guys are. 214, what's up?
Yeah, what's up? I just wanted to say my thoughts for the show tonight. Or I should say this afternoon.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty decent. I mean, the Undertaker and Goldberg, the finish kind of left me feeling like, but I feel like overall, like, we had some good matches. And I wanted to comment on Jake's thoughts on the Battle Royal. Yeah, I did think there would be more high spots. I felt like, but I think it was only because, like, they had so many people in the ring, like, I don't think they had enough time to plan out all the high spots because of the 50 people in it.
Yeah, I was hoping, like, when they got to the end that it would be, you know, like when there was maybe 10 guys left, that they would do a couple of those, like, oh, wow, you know, the big moments, but we didn't even get that. And it's just very underwhelming. No surprise entrance. And then coming down to the final few, it was disappointing as well. So,
yeah, I don't think it was a house show. I mean, that's all you can, it was just, dude, that's why, you could grade the quality of the matches, like, okay, this match, that match. Like, that part of it was okay. Like, if you added up all the matches and you were like, how was the show? Wrestling-wise, like, as in how did they go out and perform as wrestlers, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. But as far as, like, what did we learn out of this? What came out of this that mattered at all, really? Not anything almost. So it's like a 2 or 3 out of 10. And so in the end, I again think that Undertaker and Goldberg was like the only thing I was really interested in.
Well, they did set up Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns.
They
did storyline.
Yeah, they continued the storylines, but again, like it was just.
That was already in motion, anyways, and that was kind of already happening.
I get it though; he's right, but it's like it's just not. I mean that.
Yeah.
I don't know like how to explain it, but there's just no. I mean that was. I will say that is one of the ones that not only did the storyline progress, but they did something surprising because like Shane won in the way he won, and that moved that storyline on. If Roman had just won, it would have been like, oh well, what the hell? So that was, you're right about that. That was the one where something happened. I guess because they could do it. They used it to get more heat for Shane.
Yeah, there's more heat for Shane. And what do you think about Dolph Ziggler losing and not having Big E out there?
Well, I mean, Big E's still messed up or something, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still recovering from his knee surgery. He wasn't fully cleared for wrestling, I guess. So
he just came back.
But
he just came back that night, and then this was just like, hey, he's still here, kind of thing.
I mean, I said Dolph Ziggler would lose. I was 100% sure Dolph would lose. He was just there to do something for Kofi. He's going back. He's going back to doing stand-up now, probably somewhere.
Yeah, well, no, he's going to have one more match. It's going to be a cage match, I guess, just to finish this feud off.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, because Dolph said that he wants to make sure there's no outside interference since Xavier Woods got involved, which was bullshit because he super kicked Xavier, but Xavier did cost him the match. So I understand what they're going for, but the only reason they had that is because Kevin Owens wasn't going to Saudi, so it was a way for them to fill in that spot.
Have you seen this picture of the pin, Jake?
Yeah, with his leg up.
When Undertaker put away the match and said, "All right, we're going home. Choke slam. I'm covering you." Goldberg put his fucking foot on the rope.
He put his leg up. And
oh my God.
Yeah, I saw that.
What in the world, dude? What a mess! Like what a goddamn
I didn't
mess.
realize how hard Taker had planted Goldberg's head with the tombstone.
Yeah, I told you, he bounced off the ground.
Yeah, you said it, but I just watched the GIF in slow motion, and it really, damn.
Yeah, if he didn't get injured on the other one. I mean, I'll tell you, he did graze it. To be honest, the one thing is, it's not as bad as you think. And the reason why is because Undertaker's arms held on to Goldberg. He didn't slip. If he had slipped and that happened, he'd been hurt. But Undertaker kept that lock. So he never jarred or moved. Even though his head hit the ground, which you don't want, Undertaker's arms never moved. So he remained... I'm watching it. He secured that move, even though the head did come down too far. So, I'm sure that wasn't... Again, I cringed immediately when he picked him up, but to Taker's credit, Taker did not let him go. Now, if Goldberg had been the Undertaker, Goldberg probably would have let him go. It would have been fucking death for the Undertaker. I'm going to plug it one more time. In 3 hours, I am live right here with Monetize This. We're all in town. Jake DeMarco puts the belt on the line. Tomorrow, are you from fucking Rhode Island? Are you from Massachusetts? Are you from Connecticut? Are you even from New York? Because tomorrow, New England Fan Fest 7, June 8th. General admission tickets still there. Bring the kids. All kinds of stuff for kids to do. Doors at 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's going to be a fucking awesome time in Warwick, Rhode Island at the Crown Plaza Hotel. Come out to Rhode Island. I've called a lot of matches for some of these wrestlers that are coming too. A lot of local guys. But also, the Four Horsemen, Tully and Arn, they're all coming in, baby. Eric Bischoff, Barbie Blank, Kelly, Eric Bischoff. They say Eric Bischoff, Brutus the Barber, Beefcake, Jimmy Hart, Demolition's going to be there. Dutch Mantel's going to be there. Brian Malonis. Men on a Mission reunion. It's going to be, well, except for one guy. He's not coming back, but you know what I mean? Like, all those other guys are going to be there. Luke, Bushwhacker Luke, and just so many names. I could go on and on and on and on about all the names that are going to be there. It's a huge wrestling Fan Fest 7. The Hall of Fame for New England was last night. That, rather, is tonight. So if you have time and you can get out to Rhode Island tonight, the Hall of Fame is going to be great. Our buddy over there, our bald buddy, if I could remember his name, I would tell you his name, but I'm having a stroke right now like Goldberg. Let me just sip this Gatorade and I'll be able to do it. Hold on, ready? Bill Apter. Yeah, see, I told you I had to drink a Gatorade.
Bill Apter.
And it all just came back to me. Oh, my God. What is this magic stuff? Yeah, Bill Apter will be there, and it'll be a lot of fun. And I'm going to be there, you fucking assholes. There's going to be a whole bunch of podcasts and wrestling people there. It'll be a good time. I'll have a table. I'll be basically carrying Eric Bischoff's bags tomorrow. I'm going to be doing a lot of things with Eric Bischoff. I'll be sniffing around Eric Bischoff's his table and everything. Eric, go. I got to talk about Eric Bischoff's TED Talk again at some point too. Let me go to the phones. So I'll see anybody tomorrow that wants to come hang out. Come on out.
What is this? Hello? Stuff.
Oh my God! Turn your fucking shit down. Holy shit, dude! Like I want to die. Like turn your shit down when you call. Oh my God!
Super Chat.
It's got fucking rave going on over there.
Monetize this. Live in
Sounded
3
like it.
hours.
Live in
Rolling
3
on the
hours.
floor, laughing face with tears of joy.
Get ready, Will Tactics. Get ready. I'll have to start drinking early because I need to be able to sober up in time to get to Warwick, Rhode Island.
Yeah, for the
9 a.m. So I got to be there at like 8. So I'm going to be, I mean, if you catch me, if you come over to say hi to me tomorrow in the morning, you're going to get zombie Cronin. Okay,
You're gonna need a lot of coffee.
I'm gonna
Just
look
let me
like
know
this.
because I can't hear the donations again, so it cut out.
What the fuck?
Sometimes when calls happen, it does that. But
Well, anyway, Will Tactics was the last one. It probably is the last one.
June 19th, Jake the Snake Roberts is doing a special engagement at the Funny Bone Comedy Club in Hartford, Connecticut. And I was tempted to, see if we should go. I think it would be a hell of a time.
I don't know, man. I met Jake at I love Jake. I love him to death. Seriously, I love Jake Roberts. But I met him a couple times, and it was like talking to a wall.
Well, this is his, speaking engagement. It's not a meet and greet. He's doing a show.
Yeah, I guess it could be funny. Take the camera.
So
And there was
it's kind of
this
like
one
an
time
open mic for...
I knew I was eating condolingus. I ate so much vagina that night. And then I smoked a bag of crack.
Sorry, I'm kidding. But no, Jake is a great guy, but it's just, you know what, I saw him at WrestleMania Access. No, not Access, at WrestleCon. And it was just like, I'm like, man, Jake, you don't understand, like, a big fan my whole life and all these things, and I'm really so happy that you're all good now.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be doing this thing in Florida.
I'm like, all right, cool. I probably won't be there, but I'm from Boston, but it was great. I mean, like, it was awesome.
Well, tell everybody that it's Florida. And here's the paperwork.
I'm like, all right, cool, man. Well, anyway, Jake, man, that's going to be awesome. We could talk about it on my podcast. I got this podcast. We get a lot of views, a lot of viewers. We could plug it. I'll plug it every day for a month or something. Like, I'd love to do that.
Sure, whatever you got to do.
I was like, all right. All right, Jake. Is there a human in there? Are you there? So
Super Chat.
I don't know.
Party.
Antonius 278. Thanks for the $1, man. Appreciate that. Thank you, man. I love Jake though. I do really love him, but it's just I don't know. Go to Hartford. I don't know, man. Almost get shot for that.
Got something on your mind? Best keep it there.
Will Tactics. I love that one, man. I forget what show I said that on, but it was funny, whatever it was. Why the fuck
Yeah, I
did
forget
these?
as well.
Where do these like porn things like XX porn sexy full?
Yeah, they've been in the mods are working their ass off today.
Oh my god, dude!
The chat, that's what I said, for being maybe a global show, we've had a bit more viewers than we've had all week. So
Yeah.
being on this channel, and we've had quite a bit of spam.
I'll tell you, 30,000 people have come into this review here today. So hope you guys
for the Corrupted Nation channel. That's impressive.
hit the sub down below if you're new.
Super
We're gonna be live in 3 hours
Party.
with a show that's gonna piss everyone
Got
off.
something on your mind. Best to keep it there.
Best keep it there.
I love the spam channels though, because I like reading the things like XX fuck unicorn pussy. Like what? Oh, well, what the hell? Meanwhile, I can't do a jerking off motion without getting taken off.
Yeah,
or drink milk. but this guy can make XX porn fuck channel. Like, if that's the case, why is the word fuck even allowed in the algorithm? You know what I mean? Like, if I simply drink milk and I go, oh, like, that's considered like a sexual thing, you get taken off. Why in the world is, like, fuck anus cornhole even allowed to be typed in your YouTube name? You know? Not that I'm for censorship, I'm not. It just doesn't make sense, you know? Let us know when you're done burning all the books, YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there any other things that we missed? I mean,
Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley, that was a bore, obviously. I know the guys worked hard, but the crowd didn't give two shits for either man, participant, or moment. And that should have been on the pre-show.
Right.
They never got either guy over with the crowd, and Braun has fallen. You know, his stock has plummeted in drastic fashion, especially lately. So, and then we talked about Kofi and Dolph, and that was it. That was the show.
It's just a horrible. To me, it was a boring show up until Goldberg.
It was extremely boring, just so predictable, and no newsworthy moments, nothing exciting. They didn't even have the swerve of like, oh, maybe he will cash in on Kofi instead, you know, since they've been pushing Seth so much. We said maybe that was a possibility. Yep. Just nothing at all to pull out all the stops and be like, hey, we got you.
They basically gave away that he wasn't. They kind of gave away that he definitely wouldn't. It's like,
we were just hoping that there would be some type of aha moment.
Yeah, but no, I mean, like, here's the thing, like, I'm not that mad about that because I'm not trying to say like anything. You just knew. Like, I watched the predictions video I did. I was like, it's gonna be nothing. It's all just a house show. That's all it is. The only thing that could possibly be exciting was Goldberg Undertaker, because it's the only thing where something's gonna happen, and I don't know what's gonna happen. Every other match, pretty much knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know what we got. You know, I don't know what I got wrong in the predictions, but if somebody wants to tell me.
I don't think we got anything. Oh, no, I said Roman would win. So I don't remember if you guys said that.
I think I said that too then. I think I might have said that too.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I would have thought that too. So,
but everything else we said straight up. We didn't pick a winner for the 50-man, so.
Yeah, well, we forgot to do that.
No, we didn't. It was nigh impossible at that point.
Oh, right. We said, like, what? I have no, like, whatever. Yeah,
there was no, like,
you know what, though?
They weren't even really announcing participants. So.
But we should have realized. It was like, we should have picked Mustafa Ali or something, or been like, oh, it's going to be a local guy. Because even last time when they did this in Saudi Arabia, we said that. We said, like, oh, it's going to be a local who's going to win. And then that didn't happen. And then it happened tonight. If you go back and watch our predictions for the last Saudi Arabia show, we said that, or at least I said that. I think you did. I think we all agreed like there was a possibility, like a local.
But at least then with the Rumble, we knew some of the entrants we were getting, and we knew we were getting several Saudi participants in the match as well. So,
yeah, that's true. We didn't know what was going to happen here. But yeah, that's it, man. I want to get out of here to get ready for Monetize This. Couple hours, put the kids to bed, clean up some stuff, get ready. What did you think in the chat? Out of 10, what did you guys give it? I'm looking at the chat now. It's bombing away. People are fighting. It's a lot of fun. 5 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 10 out of 10. So whoever.
What's
says
your
that.
final score
of this show? Probably for a pay-per-view, I'd give this probably 4 out of 10.
I was going to go 2.5.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, I appreciate that there was a lot of stuff that happened, and some of the matches were all right, and I think that Goldberg Undertaker match was such a train wreck that I enjoyed it in a sick way. But yeah, it was garbage, and maybe 4 out of 10 is too high. Maybe it should be at least 3 out of 10, maybe. But yeah,
I mean, I could see a 3. I was just that Battle Royal really pissed me off. So it was that lame. I was expecting at least some type of NXT talent surprise, call up. We got nothing.
How about the jackhammer? Jackhammer?
He didn't quite get all of it.
Well, he didn't get all of it, and he turned it into a. I can't believe that Corey or somebody didn't go like, oh, he turned it into a. Goldberg couldn't get him up for the jackhammer, but that was a hell of a brain buster. Like, oh, it's a brain buster. I was expecting
to see the fucking 24/7 title as well. We didn't get to see that.
Yeah, well, because they're gonna
5 million views in like 10 hours with the airplane switcheroo when R-Truth got the belt back from Jinder.
The only thing we heard was Jinder say, "I'm going to get it back on the flight home." Jinder said that in a promo, said, "I am going to win that belt back on the flight home." So now we're all sort of like going to go to YouTube to watch that happen.
I forget who was saying it, but they should have had, Jinder sleeping. Somebody had said it to me on Twitter, I believe, over the weekend. They're like, "Oh, Jinder was sleeping, and they should have had, somebody else besides R-Truth first. Just lean over him to like grab a drink from the drink cart, and then the ref just counts and accidentally wins, and then it just turns into the whole plane, turning over, and everybody gets a chance with the belt." I think that would have been funny, but
Jesus. That sounds insane, but that's funny.
It is pure insanity, but that's what the belt
really
means.
going out
there. But
there.
it's funny how you and I have been touting this for ages now, saying that this would be, well received and a hot commodity, and they're getting millions of views on YouTube in hours, mere hours.
Here we are, WWE. Oh, here's the thing. They have basically not done many things that we've like really talked about and wanted them to do. They basically don't do a whole lot of what we ever say. But this 24/7 title, we drove this point home on multiple shows.
Begged and pleaded.
Saying, like, the social media ability of this belt to be on TV, then Facebook and YouTube, and the stuff you could do offline and generate interest, like, would be incredible. Why in the world wouldn't they do something like this? And then, like, well, they do it. And it's like, can you take some of the other ideas, too? I mean, and do them? Because there's some other pretty good ideas I thought we had, and they didn't use those. Can you just do those too? Because even and again, like the 24/7 title, it's a comedy act, it's ridiculous, but it's on the bottom level of things. But they do that. But if only they would do some of the other stuff that we think about on the higher level, then that would be better. But they don't do that. But so it's like, I don't know. But at least that's the one thing. That's why the minute this thing was launched, I stuck behind it, because we can't hide from it. We wanted this. So, like, when people are like, this is dumb. Now, I agree the title looked kind of weird and stupid. But the idea of it, we're not going to all of a sudden shit on it and pretend like we didn't say this should happen. Again, like, what they do with it is up to them. Maybe they won't do it the way I would have done it, but I don't know. It's one of the best things going. And I don't know. If they could only just do some of the other ideas that other people come up with, that I hear about, that I come up with, that you come up with, that other people come up with. Not everyone's ideas are going to work, and not every idea is good. It might sound good at first, might not work, but like what they do from the middle, upper mid card and up and the weekly stories on Raw is just so fucking horrible. The Monday Night Raw has just been terrible. Anyway, let's get the fuck out of here.
Got to have something exciting. Oh, last thing really quick is that apparently, according to Brad Shepard, Goldberg and Undertaker got into a heated shouting match after their performance at tonight's show.
Oh, boy.
So we'll see. We'll hear about that as time goes on.
Undertaker was bullshit in the ring. If you didn't see it, Undertaker was fucking furious in the ring. He couldn't even really contain it that well. He was like... But he was mad. Guys, we'll see you tonight on Monetize This right here on the Corrupted channel in about 3 hours. Monetize This tonight. Thanks for watching. And shout out to all the people on Patreon. Get your asses to Patreon. 360 patrons. We're getting them all back. I've posted a bunch of stuff, including Monetize This. Episodes 212 and 210 are available. You can either look on my website to get it, or for free you can get it on BitChute. And then I will have them back up on YouTube next week, probably at some point, maybe. So make sure you check it out. There's the link to the Twitch. I put it up on Twitch. Full episodes. There's the BitChute one. And so many other things up. Of course, me and Dave's full hour episode from Rage Internet Radio. Ban the community. VIP access. And I will be shouting out the $25 producers as always. Guys, if you want to support the show, $1 a month, you get the Corrupted podcast this Saturday night. $2 you get the audio. $5 you get all the other shows. $10 you get more shows. And you can actually sign up at the $25 mark and become an associate producer and get your name down below in the description box. And you also help the channel continue. I can't do this without you guys because YouTube's a piece of shit who doesn't pay us anymore. And I'm pretty much demonetized on this whole thing. Probably be deplatformed soon. So, you want to support the channel? Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show to keep me doing this. If you guys want to keep me on the air, that is the way to do it. See you guys tonight. Jake DeMarco is the Monetize This champion. He's putting the belt on the line! At Countdown Ended on Twitter to support him. At CorruptedPod on Twitter if you want to get a hold of me. Joe Cronin Show, yahoo.com. See you tonight from Monetize This. And I'll see you tomorrow at FanFest in Rhode Island.